thank you for joining us. A little later than usual, but hey, the weekend blues, I guess.
Definitely. But then it's the first working day of the week, and we are here to help you get your day and your week started.
Indeed. So we have to say a big thank you to you and you alone for letting us into your room once more and starting your day, your week with us.
All right, welcome. It's a fresh edition of Wake Up Nigeria. I am Mike Messi-Kenor.
And I am Mary Bashua Alimi. We are streaming live at tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. So send in your comments on social media with the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC.
And you should also download our mobile app from any of the stores, Android or iOS. You can watch us anywhere in the world once you have internet connection.
Exactly. Well, quite a number of things happening today. We have pop, R&B, and Afro-pop artist Jake. He'll be bringing us the first music performance for today.
And then, of course,
and right after that, there will be updates on the latest technological inventions from the world over. Now, we'll also take a trip down memory lane weekly. On This Week in History, we will be doing so again today. So stay tuned for some of the history nuggets we have for you this morning. Right after that, it's another music performance, but this one will be coming from IT Dennis. And as always, we try to find a way to motivate you on Monday mornings. A well-being consultant and soul physician, yes, you heard me right, Stephen Omoju-Igbe, will be discussing developing a bias for action. Now, how well do you know your car key? Yomi Bosude will be discussing this on Auto segment later on the show. You don't want to miss that one. And of course, our SME for this week is the CEO of the fashion label De Styles. His name is Daniel Nwachukwu, and we will be hearing about his journey this morning. And so with that, we move straight to the sports news, and of course, Mike is on standby for that.
We're still feeling the blues after yesterday. Well, you don't Friday. I mentioned it that it's going to be hard against Algeria. If we do beat them, then probably we're lucky, and it showed. I mean, they were much better, and well, we have the third position to play for.
The painful part for me was the fact that we more or less led them to victory. That was what hurt me. Like, I'm still in tears, but we'll be all right.
Okay. Super Eagles, look at what you've done. Mary's in tears because of you. Even though I can't see the tears, Mary.
Mike.
All right. Algerian forward Riyad Mahrez curled in a free kick in stoppage time to give Algeria a 2-1 win over Nigeria in the 10th Africa Cup of Nations semi-final played in a volatile atmosphere on Sunday. And the visit of former world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua to Nigeria has continued to receive positive attention in Lagos State, but hopes by fans in Sagamu who are keen to see him gradually fading away. Details in this report.
Boxing fans have expressed disappointment with the decision of Anthony Joshua not to visit Sagamu.
He's in Nigeria, so I saw it online, so I was just like, wow, over there in Lagos, so I wish maybe he can come down to Sagamu at least, so I will be able to see him live in reality.
No, I'm not happy, but if I see me, I will appreciate.
We indigenous fans from Sagamu, expecting him in Sagamu so soon to say hello to us, to show that we Sagamu, we are great people. We also love him. We watch his match all the time. We always pray for him. We always expect something meaningful from him.
The former heavyweight champion visited Makoko on Saturday and was expected in Sagamu on Sunday.
The mom got in touch with me on Friday that they come to town and that she will try and come down with Anthony if they can make the time. But I've still not seen them.
We're proud of him, and we thank God that he can even achieve it during his own time to make Remo proud, to make Oguse proud, and make Nigeria proud.
I feel very happy because he has made us proud. Very, very happy. The whole Shagamites and Remo as a whole, also the whole Nigeria. We are very proud of him.
A family member Ademola Joshua took TVC News crew to the house of Joshua's grandfather, built in 1927.
The history about this building, it was a very unique building those days. In 1927 when it was built. My father built it in 1927 and there were not many houses like that those days. I was born 1951 here, but the building had been there long before I was born.
This is the first time Anthony Joshua will visit Nigeria ever since he became the heavyweight champion of the world in boxing. Mian Akiri, TVC News, Sagamu.
That's it on sports for now. Let's take a look at the top stories in the headlines.
All right, let's take a look at the newspaper headlines right about now. And I'll be starting off from This Day newspaper. This says boldly, Oshibajo, federal government to deploy military in highways to stem insecurity. And there's a photo story just here for a reception for the Zenith Bank by Zenith Bank for the CBN governor last weekend. Adoke, how I was framed up with fake tape over OPL 245, claims he saved Nigeria $2 billion fine in the Malabo deal. Again, ACF rejects 2014 National Confab El-Rufai reports. Here we have Oshibajo, Fayemi, Sanwo-Olu. Others celebrate with Obaigena at 60. 60 hearty cheers, this article has to say. All of these stories on This Day newspaper today. Now, moving on to the Guardian newspaper, this says Yoruba split over killing of Fashoranti's daughter. Southwest won't take more headsmen attacks. Only ones. Perpetrators may not be cattlemen, says Tinubu. Can PDP youth knock Buhari on insecurity? Ohaneze warns of looming national crisis. Oshibajo hopeful. And then we also have the photo story here, the pain of a grieving father. Pa Ruben Fashoranti in a pensive mood at his residence in Akure, Ondo State. Yesterday, his daughter, Mrs. Funke Olakunrin, was killed by gunmen at the weekend. Really sad one there. Buhari's inability to solve headsmen problems has eroded his achievements, and that's coming from Shoyinka. How artificial intelligence robotics will affect jobs of accountants, others. That's an article on the Monday interview. Choked with insecurity, citizens still waver on state police. You find that story. It's a special report on pages 54 and 55. And finally, appeal court orders release of Dasuki from detention. Imposes 5 million naira fine on DSS for rights violation. These are the stories you'd read in the Guardian newspaper today. And moving on, we have the Nation newspaper here. And this says, troops for roads to stop killings, says Oshibajo. Shoyinka says, headsmen erode government's gains. Tinubu seeks to end security woes. Still on the front page of the Nation newspaper, we see this one. Sanwo-Olu picks Omotosho, 24 others for commissioner advisor. Makinde nominates 26. That's on the front page of the Nation newspaper. CBN's lending policy will boost economy, and that's coming from the LCCI. That's the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Now, 10 fear dead as police bandits fight. Army redeploys Yusuf Adeosun, others. Appeal court cancels 2019 vacation. Oh, wow. Vice President, governors, others honor Obaigbena because really the appeal court is supposed to go on vacation soon. Oyo Police Chief regrets shooting. Customs parades 24 rice smugglers. And inside Buhari, Abiodun Okowa Oyetola, others greet Oshoba at 80. Down here we see NCC set to end cyber crime. Interesting one that. And gunmen abduct Bureau de Change operator. You read all of the stories and more in the Nation newspaper today. And moving on, we have the Daily Sun newspaper here, and it boldly says, insecurity, federal government deploys soldiers on highways. Community policing coming soon, pledges Oshibajo. Senate expresses fears, urges overhaul of security architecture. And we have a photo story here regarding the event I mentioned earlier, which took place yesterday. And still on the front page of the Daily Sun, AFCON, Eagles fail to fly, lose to Algeria, concede goal on dot of 90 minutes, meet Tunisia for bronze. That was heartbreaking, though. Igbo leaders groups meet in London on security others. There's a lot more you can find in the Daily Sun newspaper. All you have to do is grab any or all of these newspapers. And that's about it on the newspaper headlines this hour. We have more for you, but that will be right after this break. Stay with us as Wake Up Nigeria.
Good morning, welcome. Let's take a look at traffic situation in Lagos. You can also be a part. You can send in a tweet to us at TVC Connect on Twitter, mostly. That's how we take our traffic updates. If you do have any traffic updates, you can also send to the major traffic handles, and of course, we'll take a look at those updates from there. All right, so cool. Let's take a look at Third Mainland Bridge this morning, heading from, let's say, Ojota, Ogoro. Over Third Mainland Bridge now. Third Mainland Bridge will take you an hour, 25 minutes to get to the island at this point in time. Of course, for those of you who use that particular place, you know that you cannot dodge it. So, hey, it's good you know how long it will take you, right? It's virtually all blocked. It picks up from just after Oworo up until Oworo if you're heading on from Ketu, Magodo area, from toll gates actually towards the Third Mainland. It's free up until you get past Oworo. And then the bypass heading into Bagada Expressway is also good, but just immediately past the Oworo and then you go up onto the Third Mainland, Adeniji there, it picks up the whole bridge. Of course, it was blocked by this time, but it's moving at its particular pace. It'll take you an hour, 25 minutes. Now, if you are going to use the Corridor Road, which at this point in time is a little bit better, the option is better. It'll take you an hour, 12 minutes to get to the island via a Corridor Road. Echo Bridge, of course, the stretch at Echo Bridge is tight, is blocked there. And just before there, there's a stretch here at after Alaka, that's Surulere area, after Alaka up until Leadway Assurance Building. That point, there's traffic there. And then before then, if you're coming, Jibowu, definitely Jibowu, just before the RCCG, the Lord's Place area. At that point, that's where the traffic picks up. Okay, but I'm going back, but as though you were coming from the other way. But there's quite a long stretch here of road that is quite tight here. But hey, Maryland, definitely. Maryland, you have to spend a little bit of time there. But after there, up until the previous ones I've spoken about, it will take you an hour, 12 minutes, which is just about 30 minutes faster than using Third Mainland Bridge. Okay, so Mary, do you have any tweets there?
I actually have a number of tweets. Earlier, there was a couple of tweets that talked about Egbeda Inward Bridge, Dokpemu, good to go, another bridge, Dokpemu. But if you set out right now, it's not good to go. It's I have to check the maps. Shows that there's already traffic building up in that axis. And then slow-moving traffic approaching Mangoro, just as I said. Now, here's one that says an accident between an articulated vehicle carrying sand and a bus at Pangrove bus stop is gradually backing up traffic on Ikorodu Road to, that's inwards Yaba. But service lane is good to go, so you might want to stick to being on the service lane. This says Mangoro inward Ekgs is moving, not so bad. This says, okay, the person who tweeted that corrected it and said, driver took wrong way from Ile-Zik to Along, but it was heavy traffic on normal lane. So That's why I said when I checked the map, there is already traffic on the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. So that's leading towards Dokpemu area. But of course, you know quite well that from Ikeja along, it usually eases out till you get to Oshodi. So just keep pushing it till you get there. This says Bola Day inward under Bridge Oshodi. Every traffic, which is shocking. Normally, at this time of the day, the traffic there is usually light. But hey, I wonder what else you have for us, Mike.
Okay, if you're heading from Fagba, let's look at Fagba Akute Road to Ikeja. It'll take you, the shortest route will take you 34 minutes to head from Fagba to Ikeja. I'm quite surprised at that at this point in time. There are two routes. Now, if you take, if you go via Yuju Road will take you 36 minutes. But then if you have to go into Ogba, Isheri, and then Agidingbi, that will take you 34 minutes. And that is your best option at this time. You'd have to head that way and then onto Ogunusi Road, Ogunusi into Agidingbi. And then Agidingbi, you're going to cut out into, at one point now, let's see, yeah. You're going to cut out LTV. That's your best point. You get through Agidingbi, cut out from LTV. LTV heading towards Allen is free at this point. It's quite very free. There is no traffic restriction whatsoever. So that will take you, Allen Avenue, of course, definitely. It's going to take you, and then up until Computer Village, Ikeja, roundabout under the bridge there. It's also very free at this point. Just a little point around Ikpodo Market. Ikpodo Market would slight traffic there at Ikpodo, just in front of Ikpodo. That's if you're heading towards Ikeja Computer Village. But then after then, you're straight there at Ikeja Computer Village. Yeah, I guess that's about it. That's about it. I would have gone further, but then moving up towards Maryland also, quite free at this point. This morning, you can definitely move around. That's all we can take on the reports in traffic this morning. Let's see what we're going to talk about in What's Up and About.
Okay, so if you check your trends, especially now on Twitter, you'd see that hashtag Monday motivation is actually top on the trends. All I want to say is I would like to motivate Nigerians. Yesterday evening wasn't so good. So many people went to bed really sad. But don't worry. Hopefully we get the bronze, and even if we don't, there will be other opportunities for us to prove ourselves as a nation. It was heartbreaking what happened last night. Watching the match, oh my gosh. Several times I kept asking myself, are people going to survive this?
So you see, someone says disappointment is directly proportional to expectation. Depends on how well. I wasn't really heartbroken because I wasn't expecting us to.
I was, but you know when I started losing hope,
I wasn't expecting.
Was when I saw the green jersey. Yes, I'm one of those who went like, this green jersey again.
See, I told you, so that discussion came up like, look, let me tell you. Hey. Even if we combine France and Brazil jersey, you know France is blue, Brazil is yellow. We wear yellow and blue. Or guy, if you go lose, you go lose. It's not jersey.
No, that yesterday's
so you like carry. So how do you? Okay, I know. I mean, I know that, yes, we've lost a number of times and we had to use that jersey. You understand? But I don't know, man. Superstition, as it is not. If you are going to base if you're going to base your footballing, as a nation, if you're going to base your footballing success on superstition,
of course not.
You're not going anywhere.
You're not going to go anywhere.
So it doesn't matter. The jersey, forget jersey. Be like where France and Brazil join together, would have still lost that match. And why would I say so? Okay, look at the Algerian team. Look at that team. I mean, it's a much more compact team. Now, we know that the North Africans have been quite good at this tournament. The West Africans, yes, we play football, we're good. But putting them together, you see, there's quite a lot of issues. From our keeper, number one. Look at that free kick.
No, Akpeyi was...
So, of course, he had 1 or 2 saves that day. But look at that free kick. He didn't position his wall well.
No, he did not.
He didn't position his wall well. So, from the positioning, I mean, Mahrez had a straight line path at that goal.
Exactly.
With a good shot. And then, if you watch the keeper, I would take some time today or tomorrow, we'll do a frame-by-frame analysis. You see him take a move to the left and then decide to dive.
Then you can't...
Do you understand? Now, this was the last... So, it hurts that... What hurt for me was that it was about the last second of the game. That was just it. If the goal had come earlier...
We had lost you to a penalty shootout. I'll probably like, well, it's usually like that. Anything can happen. But the fact that it was last minute.
It was last minute.
Now, people are calling for Gennett Roy's sack.
It's normal.
And
it's
I
normal.
think,
no matter,
I do not believe that he should be sacked yet, because getting another coach is more or less like going back to the drawing board and starting all over
but
again.
you see, that's football is about results.
Yeah.
You see, a lot of coaches, when they are given expectations and they don't meet it, they're sacked. That's just it.
I hate
that's
to
the game
do
of
negative
football.
comparisons.
That's the game of football.
Well, Westerhoff had 4 years, though.
That's the game of football. That's the game of.
Just
But
saying.
then I think he has generally, yes, he's lacking in. I feel like he was lacking in a number of technical
People
choices.
felt it was rather dull.
But then, I mean, we've not been to AFCON for 2 years, for 2 editions. He took us to AFCON. He took us to this. He took us to the World Cup, even though we went out at the first round. And then he took us here to the semi-final. So maybe we can build on it. But then, I mean, we have players like Osimhen. We have people like Onyekuru. Onyekuru waited. I mean, the third match against
Yesterday's
Madagascar.
substitution was non-existent.
Exactly.
Like,
The third match against Madagascar, we could have had an Osimhen, we could have had an Onyekuru. Those guys needed to warm up, get the feel of the tournament. You don't put Onyekuru came in just at, 20 minutes
20
to
minutes
go
to
in about the most crucial match. He had not had any taste of tournament football before then. And then so we cannot blame him. For me, if he had a chance against Madagascar, if he had tested his legs in tournament football, match fitness, pure match fitness, now I'm not talking about general fitness, was lacking when it came to him. I mean, look at, he had a chance where he could have tested the goalkeeper, but then he threw it over the bar. So I would say that we went with 9 attacking players, 9. And then Onuachu, was just out of it. He was too tall. It was hard for him to move. So even when...
In fact, we barely felt Chukwueze in this match. At some point, I kept checking. Is that... is it someone wearing his jersey? I'm being very honest. Like, there was a time I actually went close to the TV screen to check if it was actually him.
Okay, you see, I think the expectations
sad.
after his performance, the expectations on him were just too much. I mean, this is his 3rd international match. His 4th, pardon me. This is his 4th international match ever. Do you understand? Yes, he's done well with Villarreal. He's a growing player, but you cannot expect to put the hopes of the team on him. I mean, Musa was out there. If we're taking out Musa would have been a better option. Even Ojo Igalo. Ojo Igalo at that point in that match, he scored the penalty, but he was too static. He's quite easy to mark out of games. As much as he is our highest goal scorer, he has 4 goals now.
He has a way that even as an opponent, you can easily nail him to a particular
So imagine,
style.
and then someone mentioned something that we were too, we were too static. Our wingers were not interchanging. It was easy, okay, we know. Ojo Igalo will go up 9, Iwobi will be behind him, Iwobi can run, Musa is going to play on the left, and then Chukwueze will play on the right. We know how to, but I mean, I'd have expected switching of roles. If we had switching of roles, it would have been harder.
It could have been, it could have been more helpful.
Say an Iwobi, push an Iwobi forward, and Igalo plays behind him, and Igalo goes to the wings. It happen. But then we can say and talk and talk.
When you do the sports, the sports discussion on Thursday, I think it's worth looking at that deflection. The one between Ekong and Mahrez.
Okay,
the one that cost
Ekong,
us
yes, the own goal. But own goals are quite unfortunate. You can't really blame.
You can't really blame it was
them.
So I feel like that was what I was saying earlier. That I felt like we more or less aided their win.
Okay, now look at Algeria. Algeria also. They had many chances which they flopped.
It was both ways, but
I mean, no, they had more chances than they created. For
we could have had 2 goals.
Okay, but then we have Tunisia to play
for the third place.
Of course. Big ups to Senegal and Algeria. The final will be on Friday. The 3rd place will be on Wednesday. Okay, we'll just take a break now.
Yeah.
When we get back, we have our first performance of the day.
Stay with us. You're welcome again. It's still Wake Up Nigeria, and it's time for our very first performance for today. And we have Jake. Now, Wilson Ikweme, that's his real name, aka Jake, is a pop R&B and Afro-trap artist who is a graduate of the National Open University. He's about to perform Party. So you want us to party on Monday?
Yes.
How many people are you trying to make to lose their jobs now?
Please, I'm not making anyone lose their job.
So you wrote the song yourself, you're a songwriter.
Yeah.
You also have other songs you've done? Or
Yes,
this is your first major single?
No, I have a lot of songs, but this is my first major singles that I'm dropping out to the world.
Professionally, music started for you a year ago, but you've been doing music since like forever. What have been your biggest influences so far?
Maybe I would just use this word like, first of all, I started as a backup dancers to celebrities on bigger stage, like Nigerian Idol, you know. So, but right now, I'm just trying to push myself into the music part and push myself. And since I got signed, so everything has changed for me. Right.
Now, you do trap music. When it comes to trap music, what artists do you look up to? Like, okay, this is the kind of person I'd like to sound like.
Yeah, I like YC. YC, that's my #1 guy because we're all from same place, First Tax City. And
Okay, so YC it is.
Yes.
So if you were to do a major collaboration with any Nigerian artist, who would it be?
yeah, obviously YC and Tubaba.
YC and Tubaba, you'd like to do music with them?
Yeah,
But how do you
Tubaba.
expect Tubaba to flow into your kind of music?
You know, the thing is, I'm not just on one part. I flow everywhere, every angle. I'm a producer, I make beats, and obviously I know how to play the acoustic guitar. So I sing R&B, I could just flow in any way, any pattern.
Anywhere at
Yeah.
all. Okay, so as a producer, you produce your songs, including this one we're about to listen to, Party, right?
Yeah, this one was not produced by me, it was produced by my friend in Cameroon, and he just came to Nigeria to produce the song, DSO.
Okay, so he produced the song.
Yeah, he produced Party.
Okay, was it a case of maybe you had input or you decided to let him
The thing is that I had other songs that I wanted to work with, like my songs, but ever since I got signed to Yama Yama Records, shout out to Yama Yama Records, so every day is always a party for us. So we just decided to just drop this song, oh yeah, Yama Yama.
Okay.
Move it, just shake body.
Fantastic. So we're going to be partying shortly with Jake here. So Jake is going to be taking us on another level.
Yeah.
You've even started. Oh, yeah, freestyle for me. Let me see what you've got. It is a party vibe this morning, though. All right, Jake, I'll allow you to take it away, okay?
Yeah.
Over to you.
BSO. Yeah.
A wonderful way to kick off your Monday morning. Nice way there. Okay, let's take a look at tech updates this Monday morning. Stuff quite interesting for YouTube content developers here. YouTube is rolling out more ways for its creators to engage fans and generate revenue. The company announced last week at the VidCon event in Anaheim, California. Now, last year, YouTube used this same event to launch new products like channel memberships, merchandise shelves, premieres, and more. Now, this time around, it's expanding several of those existing options with new features, while also introducing new products like super stickers and learning playlists. The latter, which aims to promote the educational use of YouTube. Now, super stickers, which you can see there, meanwhile, is meant to complement the existing monetization tool, Super Chat, which launched in January 2017. Super Chat lets fans pay to make their message stand out during a YouTuber's live stream or premiere. Now, last week, YouTube said that Super Chat is now the #1 revenue stream across nearly 20,000 channels, which is a 65 year-over-year increase. So, for people like us that develop content, if you want to learn more about this, go check out my YouTube channel. It's at Mike Mexicano. I'll put up some more updates how to help you monetize your channel and stuff from YouTube. Okay, and now moving on from that, Google, they have something quite interesting this time. Everybody loves a good Easter egg, but then, hey, Google, from cutesy Douglas Adams references to the search results for Askew being just a little bit crooked, there's all sorts of stuff hiding in the search engine if you know the right thing to type or the right buttons to push. Now, the latest addition is a fun little tennis game, which is hidden within certain search results pages. Now, it is in honor of the Wimbledon tennis tournament. Now, with Wimbledon already being wrapped up, though, this egg might not be around for too long. Of course, Wimbledon ended yesterday. Novak, yeah, the man. But then it's not too hard to find. It's just tucked away enough that most people probably won't stumble upon it accidentally. Now, this is how you can play this tennis game on Google. Do a Google search for Wimbledon scores. Now, you see that purple box that pops up, which you can see there. You see a navigation bar that says men's singles, women's singles, etc. Now, grab that and drag it all the way to the left to scroll to the end. Now, at the very end, you can see there a little tennis green ball icon, which you just saw. Now, tap that and the game should fire right up. Like you can see, that's it. The game starts up one way. You just look at it, that green, you can see that red, that green there. You tap on that green ball, that icon there, and you can play the game, which is what you see now. Now, it will work on your mobile or desktop. Now, but then it's much easier. That's what I found. I tried playing it out, and it's better on desktop or mobile, depending on the kind of phone you're using. Those are kind of phones. It might still be loading while the game has already ended on Google side, but it's still loading on your phone. So it's better you do it on desktop, okay? All right, moving on from that. Now, Twitter users are getting more control over which comments are visible in the conversations they start. The company has been testing and talking about this feature since earlier this year, but starting this week, Twitter will actually roll it out to users in Canada, first of all. Now, as you can see in this GIF coming right up, when you're looking at replies to your tweets, you'll be able to select any one of them and hit the hide reply option. However, as the name implies, these posts won't be fully removed from Twitter, just hidden from the default view. Everyone will still be able to tap on a gray icon to view hidden replies. Okay, so let me break it down for you there. Okay, I don't want to say dark Twitter, but it so happens that if you put up a tweet and someone replies and you don't want that reply to generate some kind of traction, a lot of people would say, yeah, those comments that they put out that you don't like and you don't want them to generate traction, you can hide those particular replies so that other people don't see them and put out that traction which you don't want. It's quite a good feature. It's coming up in Canada, first of all. It's not yet available in Africa and, of course, Nigeria. But then I think it's something quite cool. Twitter can be quite a place of innovation, a place of learning, a place of enlightenment, but at the same time, it can be quite toxic. So this is one feature that can help you maintain your level of sanity and, of course, take out some level of toxicity, if you like, right? Okay, yeah, that's it. That's it. It's Canada. I don't know how long it will take, how many weeks or months before it gets here, but I'll let you know the moment it does get to Africa. That's all on Tech Updates, and it's a whole hour gone by already. The show, of course, is 1/3 of the way gone. You don't want to miss the remaining part of the show. Top of the morning to you once again. Welcome. It's Wake Up Nigeria. If you're just joining us, man, 1 hour's gone by. Where have you been?
Yes, you already know the deal. We're about to make sure your morning is as beautiful as it can get.
And also because you deserve the best of the very best, and that's what you get on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Mike Nesikeno.
And I am Mary Bashra Alimi. We're streaming live at tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Send in your comments across our social media platforms with the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Our app is also available for download on Android and iOS stores. The app allows you to watch us anywhere around the world once you can access internet connection.
That's right. And Chef Nathaniel of Natido Cuisine is back in the kitchen. How you doing today, Chef Nathaniel?
I'm doing very good.
Chef Nat! What's good, man? What's happening?
Everything's fine, I'm good.
How was your weekend? How did you feel yesterday? Did you watch the match?
I was really heartbroken.
Heartbroken.
I was
Please
expecting
don't
extra
extend
time.
the outbreak to our breakfast.
I was really heartbroken.
Please, cook the food well. Don't use that Vex mine and cook the food. All right, it's great to have you, Chef Nat.
Thank you so much.
Now, a number of things will be coming up shortly. Now, way back in history, we have This Week in History. You don't want to miss that.
Yes. And then we have IT Dennis joining us
On the need to develop a bias for action, Stephen Omojuigbe will be joining us for some motivation this Monday morning.
Now, how well do you know your car? Yomi Bosude is our guy on the auto segment this week, and he is talking about knowing your car keys.
Then we have founder and CEO of the Styles fashion label, Daniel Chuks Nwachuku. He is our SME guest this morning. He'll be sharing his experiences with us on entrepreneurship in the fashion industry in Nigeria here.
Interesting that.
Okay. So I don't know now. Like it's like, okay, growing up, natives didn't used to be so expensive to sell. Like
500 naira, you have it. It even depends on what you want to
500.
make.
What are you saying?
No, nah, it's in complicated styles.
Okay,
Yeah.
but well, then
Iran
500
Buba was
naira.
200.
Yeah, definitely
Yes,
500 naira
Iran
had far
Buba
much more
200,
value.
yes.
Yeah, I was surprised when you said that.
Oh.
But now, man, you want to sell something standard, man. You're thinking of in 20s, man, 30s.
So,
Something very standard.
a group of ladies were talking about attending a friend's wedding. And there are all these gyrating kind of girls. And unfortunately, out of about 8 of them, only 2 was going to attend that wedding. Not because they
2
don't
friends.
want to, yes.
Out of the 8 friends.
But this was what started it. So one said, the Ashwebi is 20,000. 2 dropped their mind. That was
20,000 is not expensive.
wait
now.
now.
In this day and age.
6 left, right? Then one of the remaining 6 now went about how to sew this dress. It's going to cost about 12,000 or thereabouts to get the standard style, blah, blah, blah. Another 3 dropped.
Okay.
That left 3. Now,
Okay.
the third one was actually determined to go. She sewed the dress, everything. She now, I don't know, I think she said her boyfriend or something now said that after you've sewn all this, you've made your outfit, you spent your money going to the venue, and then you get there, you can't even get food, or they make you look like you came to beg for food. That was how 2 people ended up out of a group of 8
Those
friends.
two no try. Those last 2. See, because so for Ashwebi and all of that, I feel I think it's about helping the couple, right? It has to be close people. It's more or less like being a support to the wedding, right?
No,
that's the idea.
funny enough, no.
The idea is supporting.
Ashwebi isn't for supporting. Ashwebi is supposed to be, okay, let's identify with you. But some people have made a business out of it. That's why you notice and you go to some weddings.
Okay.
What you buy for the Ashwebi, when you go to the market, you realize that it's cheaper.
No, yes, I know. That's
Because
what I'm saying.
they've given it to you at the exact price they got it in bulk.
Yes, now, but you see, that's why I said it's support. So they tell you that, okay, we know it's like maybe 10,000, but we made it 20, so that's how you can support our wedding. Is that not?
You don't.
Is that not the way?
It's the wrong thing to do. Because when you do that, you still expect gifts. You still expect so many things.
Some people don't. Some people give them. Okay, but I would say for guys it's not a problem. Once we just buy the cap for the smallest for filler, we just wear white and white.
You think
Good.
so? Do you know how much a good suit costs?
No, we'll wear native.
Okay, there are ways to go
We'll wear
around
native.
it.
We'll go around it.
I
Just
wish
tell us
to
the
go
color. we probably have something like that. But whichever way, you cannot come and go and kill yourself. What you can afford, you can afford. And most times, like I said, I feel people do it for support. And so if you're close to the couple, then you have to get it.
Yeah, you have to get it.
You have to get it.
But as far as I'm concerned, I think weddings are overrated. I've always said it.
Miriam's come.
The best way to get
Did you say that
hitched is the truth. The best way to get hitched, do a quiet ceremony. Take your close family and friends to some kind of buffet. Enjoy yourselves, like eat to the fullest, and go home.
I think it's about
After a wedding is when you realize, why did I spend so much?
No, it's about preferences. There are some people that will think that I didn't spend enough.
No baton. You know how many people are still paying for debts for years.
Okay, let's head over to the news now. Ibrahim is on standby.
Well, I like your proposition, Mary, and your conclusion, rather, that weddings are really overrated.
Ibrahim, that doesn't stop you from getting married properly. Don't use me as an excuse.
No. The reason is a lot of people get wedded, but they don't get married, and that is the truth.
Exactly.
All right, let's go straight to the news. The Inspector General of Police, Special Forces and policemen from the Ondo State Command have moved into the state government reserve with the purpose of hunting for the killers of Mrs. Funke Olakunrin, a daughter of the Afenifere leader, Chief Reuben Fashion. The Ondo State Police Command Public Relations Officer, Mr. Femi Joseph, stated that criminals have converted the state government forest into their camp. The State Police PRO assured that the killers would be fished out and brought to justice. And 25 names of potential commissioners and special advisors have been sent to the Lagos State House of Assembly for screening. The names were transmitted by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who is doing so a month and a half after taking office. But it's only the first batch, with another list expected, according to the governor's spokesman. As is customary, the nominees will appear before lawmakers and be screened, after which the governor will appoint those who pass the scrutiny. And a special presidential investigation panel for the recovery of public property has sealed up suspicious assets and properties belonging to Senator Peter Nwobochi. The properties in Warri and Asaba in Delta State and others in Lagos State, numbering 14, were sealed on the premise of last week's ruling of a Federal High Court, Abuja, which ordered an interim forfeiture of the properties belonging to Senator who represents Delta North Senatorial District. The court also placed a post-no debit order on 22 bank accounts linked to Senator Nwobochi. The lawmaker was recently referred to the office of the Department of Public Prosecutions by the Special Presidential Investigation Panel led by Okoye Obono Obla for allegedly making false assets declaration when filing his Code of Conduct Bureau form. And the Democratic Republic of Congo has confirmed the first case of Ebola in the eastern city of Goma, home to more than 1 million people. The Health Ministry confirmed that a pastor tested positive for the virus in a center in Goma after arriving there by bus on Sunday. The ministry says the risk of the disease spreading is low. More than 1,600 people have died since the Ebola outbreak began in eastern DR Congo a year ago. And still on the foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has been accused of racism after posting tweets attacking Democratic Congresswomen. He claimed the women originally came from countries whose governments are a complete and total catastrophe, before suggesting they go back. He then said Speaker Nancy Pelosi would be very happy to quickly work out free travel arrangements. It comes a week after Ms. Pelosi clashed with the Squad, a group of 4 left-wing Democratic women of color. Of the 4 congresswomen that were born and raised in the U.S., while the 4th moved to the U.S. as a child. And that's the news update for this hour. Stay tuned for sports news after this weather update.
All right, welcome back. Let's take a look at events that took place this week in history. On the 20th of July 2014, Patrick Sawyer arrived in the city of Lagos in Nigeria and collapsed. He died of Ebola 5 days later. This was quite
It's hard to believe that was 5 years ago.
This was
Seems
quite
like yesterday.
a very big one. Of course, the big news here, of course, always has to be about
That's
Dr.
Dr.
Stella.
Adadevo, yeah.
Dr. Stella Adadevo, who stopped him from going out after he arrived in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So whenever we talk about the situation, we always remember her for what she did.
All right, so moving on, inventor of first personal camera was born today. 1854, American inventor George Eastman, founder of the Eastman Kodak Company and Kodak Camera, was born on July 12 in New York. His first camera, the Kodak, was sold in 1888 and consisted of a box camera with 100 exposures. Later, he offered the first Brownie camera, which was intended for children. By 1927, Eastman Kodak was the largest U.S. company in the industry. Although Eastman invented amateur photography, there are very few pictures of him, and he often went unrecognized in his hometown of Rochester. Eastman was one of the first American industrialists to embrace and implement the concept of employee profit sharing in the United States. Eastman committed suicide in 1932. Sad end.
And then in 1964, ANC leader Nelson Mandela was recently sentenced to life imprisonment at that time, was awarded the Joliot Okorie Gold Medal for Peace. Madiba received numerous awards for peace throughout his life, but was forced to receive some, including the Joliot Okorie Medal, in absentia due to his imprisonment. Nelson Mandela, along with 7 others, being sentenced to prison for their work against the white minority apartheid regime, was awarded for his hard work by the World Peace Council in 1964. The WPC awarded him that particular medal, which is the highest honor one can receive from the organization. The announcement of the award was made by the leader of a Welsh newspaper a day before Mandela's birthday. It was the first of a number of awards he would receive while he was in imprisonment.
It took a lot from him. Well, moving on, King Henry VIII's ship, Mary Rose, sank on the 15th of July, 1545. That's today. Now, King Henry VIII's flagship, Mary Rose, sank at Portsmouth. 731 died. For 34 years, the Mary Rose was Henry VIII's flagship. Faced with the threats of the French Navy and a strong Scottish fleet, King Henry started building up his naval firepower as soon as he became king. Built in Portsmouth, the Mary Rose was launched in 1511. The Mary Rose sank in July 1545 in the Battle of the Soulon as Henry VIII looked on, with his army and his fleet taking up a defensive position against a formidable French fleet. Hundreds of men aboard the ship drowned and only just about 25 survived. The ship sank while turning either due to human error, overloading, a gust of wind that made the ship unstable, or perhaps a cannonball fired by the French. Looks like no one really knows why. And the ship was discovered in May 1971 and raised in 1982.
Those blueprints there, thinking of Gulliver's Travels and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, we have another musical performance. I'll be looking forward to this one. IT Dennis is on standby for that musical performance. Hello, IT.
Now, IT is an award-winning gospel music minister whose message brings comfort and restoration. The former teacher and television producer has been in the music industry, music ministry more like, for over 20 years. A latest single is You Are the Greatest. IT, I believe that's what you're performing for us this morning.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Fantastic. Take it away.
Thank you.
Nobody else can take your place. Nobody. Nobody else. Nobody else. No, nobody else can take your place. Yahweh. You are the Alpha and Omega. No one like you. Mountains bow before you.
All creation worship you. You are the greatest. You are the best.
I'm on the next video. Like, I mean, we should...
You're welcome to be on the next video.
I love that line.
Mountains bow before you.
Now let's talk about the inspiration behind this song. I know you have a wonderful story. You are the greatest. What was the inspiration behind putting this song together?
You are the greatest is actually talking about God. That God is the greatest. He has the final say. And you know that line I said, mountains bow before you. I got a lot of mountains. One of them was having to wait to be called a mother.
Yeah, for over 20 years.
You know, that's quite some mountain.
It is. The pressure from the society and all of that. But then it happened.
It happened.
And now you are a mommy.
I'm a mom.
Okay.
From Mama nothing to Mama 3.
Wow.
So now I'm a mom of 3.
Wow, that's quite something.
My first baby came after 21 years.
Wow.
And then I had a set of twins, a boy and a girl.
After that
on our 25th anniversary.
Wonderful, wonderful,
and,
wonderful.
By the time I had the twins, well, you are a young person, so you might not understand. I didn't have my periods anymore.
Wow.
So the twins came 4 years after my period had stopped. So I started for you understand?
Now that is a wonderful testimony.
Against all odds, God just told me to
you.
You understand?
What? I like that.
And I wrote that song for him. I said, Lord, you are indeed the greatest.
Wonderful.
You have the final say.
Wonderful.
And every mountain can bow before you.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, looking forward, is that an album? Are we expecting an album or something coming very soon?
No. I released that CD. I did that song with Eben.
Okay.
Eben is my brother, my friend. He's been there right from when I didn't have no babies, you know.
Wonderful.
And then I did that song with him. So I just released the video.
Okay.
I already released the audio.
Okay.
And then I just released a video.
So I just want you to give a word.
baby.
Just finally, just give a word to somebody who's expecting something, maybe waiting for a very long time. What word of encouragement can you give them? Just very fast.
I want to tell you that you should just be adamantly focused on whatever you're believing God for.
I like that.
It's not over. As long as you're still alive, it can still happen.
Wonderful.
If it happened for me, God is still
happen
alive,
for you.
and it will happen for you.
Wonderful.
It might be a baby,
Wonderful.
might be anything else. Just hold on and just keep pursuing it. And before you know it, you'll stand in the midst of your dreams.
Thank you so much, Auntie Dennis. I feel like I'm in church. Thank you for the wonderful testimony. Don't go nowhere. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome again to the kitchen, and quite a lot has been going on. Our rice is ready, and we're about to show you the sauce. Of course, I have Chef Nathaniel of Natido Cuisine with me this morning. He's the one making breakfast for us. Chef Nathaniel, what are we making again today?
We're making spiced rice with fish sauce and dodo.
Now, don't be deceived. The rice can make you feel it's fried rice, but it's not. The ingredients are currently on your screen. We're making use of rice, momo, crayfish, plantain, croaker fish, smoked fish, locust beans, black pepper, spices, garlic, onions, scent leaves, vegetables, bell peppers, tomato paste, and vegetable oil. Now, the rice is ready. Could we take a look at the rice? See?
Already.
So the rice
So this is not
ready.
fried rice, just normal white rice. What I spiced it with some herbs like rosemary, black pepper, and vegetables, carrots, spring onions, and so that's how it is. So
fantastic. So now we are going to make the sauce.
Yeah. So
So
we're
what's
going to
the
start
first
with onions and garlic.
Okay. So afterwards, what goes in?
We'll add a tomato paste.
Okay. So the tomato paste starts the cooking. Oh, immediately.
Yeah, but another thing is there's no actually registered type that you must put tomatoes. Some you can put the pepper first before tomatoes.
Before the tomato, but you choose to put
Yeah.
the tomato first. Okay. Some people don't really like the taste of raw tomato puree, so that could help for them. You start cooking it early for people like that.
Yeah.
Before adding in your vegetables. So
So
what is in here actually?
Yeah,
what is
we
in here?
have tomatoes.
Okay.
We have pepper.
Okay.
We have red bell pepper.
Okay.
And green bell pepper. So it's just a mix
of peppers and tomatoes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's what we're going to make use of for the stew.
Yes.
Okay. So it goes in now.
Yes.
Okay.
so everything can cook well at the same time.
Oh, nice. I love those colors. Huh?
Food is all
Nice.
about color.
Yeah. So after that, what goes in?
We would allow it to cook a bit before
bit.
we start adding our crayfish,
Okay.
our locust beans, and
Okay.
we have omo and smoked fish.
Okay. So we're also going to fry the fish.
Yes, we're going to fry
Now, is
the
the fish going to be a side dish, or we're going to put it in the
We
sauce?
are going to put it in the sauce, but
We'll
it will
put
have
it
been
in-
fried so it adds more taste and flavor to it.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
So that's it for our spicy rice this morning. Take a look at that sauce. It looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Makes you want to just sit down and get yourself a loaf of bread, put it
Yeah,
in
just-
between and bite through.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine this? Don't finish the food there. Oh. See our chef already going, oh my God. Come, please move to this side. Let me help you with the steering. I'm getting suspicious of you now.
No, you don't need to be.
You
don't
already
need to
going,
be-
oh my God.
That is it's just, it's in it. It's
Chef
natural.
Nathaniel, this is our
Yeah,
breakfast.
no problem.
I'm not trusting you with this meal anymore. So we're going to allow this
To
steam
steam
for a
a
while.
bit.
And then when
Once we
we're...
are done with the sauce, we'll now fry our plantain. So this
Okay.
will be more like the side dish you're talking about.
Okay,
So we'll
okay.
just fry it and our rice.
I'm already
and
mentally picturing the
Yeah.
plate that is going to get to me.
It's gonna be nice.
What a way to celebrate.
And what a way to start the week.
Yes, to start the week, because yesterday night was not
After
funny.
the disappointment,
So,
you need...
let's not go there, let's not go there. Do you know how many people's hearts you break right now? Just
after that, you need a good food. To
you need a
take
good
your
meal,
mind
Abi.
off it and-
Yes, that's why I wanted to carry this with bread.
At least after today now, I would have forgotten about the match.
Chef Nathan, see, anytime you see me in the kitchen standing here today, just know it's because I'm trying to keep him away from the sauce. Anyway, we have to move straight to motivation right now, and Mike is with Stephen Omoji.
All right, there are no better days for motivation than Mondays, and we always bring to you the best of the bunch to do that. Stephen Omoji is a well-being consultant, soul physician, a certified life coach, and licensed NLP practitioner. Now he has joined us to talk about developing a bias for action. Wow, developing a bias for action. That means that by default, you just want to take action. That's what we're talking about today.
Exactly.
Right. Now, let's go. There's something I just want to, there's a question I want to put across to you just while we start. We live in a country where people are very positive and they believe that just by the power of saying, things will happen. But action is a very, very important part of that equation, right?
It is at the point of action that any kind of change, growth, or transformation happens. It doesn't matter how well you're motivated, how inspired you are, how positive you think, until you do something, nothing happens. So there is a law of physics, Mike. The law of physics says that all things stays in a state of rest, until it is acted upon by an external force. But it's not true in life. The law of life says that you act or you'll be acted upon. Not acting is passivity, and in life, passivity kills. A lot of people, sit with me like in the coaching room, and my employer is not paying me well. I'm not enjoying my job. My marriage is not going well. My relationship is in trouble. The first question I ask them always is this: what are you going to do about it? And it will surprise you, Mike, that some of them, they're shocked, they had never thought about the fact that they are responsible and they're supposed to do something about it. So they've been focused on the problem, they've been talking about it, they have been praying about it, they are thinking positively, but they do not have a bias for action. And without acting, everything stays the same.
Now, I know a number of people, the fear of failure is one thing that I know stops a number of people from taking action. How do you deal with the fear of failure?
Exactly. So, fears generally, not just the fear of failure, Mike. The fear of success too can also stop you from acting. Yes. Yeah, people can become afraid of success because they feel like if they succeed, they won't be able to maintain it, or if they succeed, they will become proud, or if they succeed. So many kind of fear. I mean, so many reasons why people can be afraid of success. But of course, like you said, the fear of failure is a big reason why people do not act. What people must understand is that you have already failed if you do not act. So by acting, you cannot do worse
So you're giving yourself a better chance.
You're giving yourself a better chance of succeeding if you act. Because if you don't act, you're already a failure. And when you act, and let's assume you fail, and to be honest, sometimes you will fail. Sometimes it won't go well. But you will learn. You will have an understanding of what not to do next time. You will grow in wisdom, and then you can go back, learn your lessons, re-strategize, and act again. But by not acting, you're already a failure. By not acting, you're not giving yourself a chance at all. So you must have a bias for action. You must have a default mindset. I will be on the move.
I would move into
Yes.
this. Move into
I'll
this.
tell you another reason why people sometimes do not act.
Okay.
Sometimes people say, I'm waiting for direction. I do not know what to do.
What to do.
Yeah, but here's the
I want to be sure I'm doing the right thing.
Here's the interesting, Mike. A stationary car is very difficult for you to move the tires because it's stationary. But once that car is on the move, what happens? It's easy to steer. So it's easier for you to find direction when you're on the move.
Okay, wonderful. I like this.
It's easier for you to find direction when you're on the move. So maybe someone is at home this morning. You don't have a job. You have problems with money. And you're sitting down thinking and waiting for some kind of idea or some kind of inspiration to come. No, that's the wrong thing. Your default must be doing something. Get out, get in the bathroom, get dressed, go out. Whatever your hand finds to do, do. Whatever comes to your mind, go in that direction. As you go in that direction, it's easier for you to be steered by God, by faith, by life. It's easier for you to be steered, to be directed when you're on the move. When you're at home, you're going to waste the whole day at home today. Nothing's going to happen.
I mean.
So you must have a bias for action. Action is the name of the game.
Okay, now, when considering how important it is, and now these people that wait for direction will tell you that, look, I don't want to go. I know somebody who has been doing a lot of things. People say when you move around that being busy is not the same thing as being productive.
Very true.
You know, when they tell you move around for a very long time, I don't know. How about people that are acting, but maybe don't have the required or the sufficient information to bring results from that action? How do you?
Fantastic question. So you don't want to be just acting, just moving, just without direction. You want to act with the understanding, like, I am here in an adventure. I'm experimenting. So when you act, you're looking at the results, and you're looking at your actions, and you're looking for gaps in those actions. When you act, for example, at an interview, so you go out there, you attend an interview, and you fail at the interview. You want to go back home and do some kind of postmortem. Why did I not fail? What were the questions they asked? What could I do better? So next time you act,
rather than blaming the system,
rather than blaming the system,
people,
next time you act wiser. The challenge, than last time. The problem with just acting without thinking is that you're repeating the same thing. You're acting at the same level of knowledge. You're acting at the same level of wisdom, and you're getting the same failure all the time. But the bias for action that I'm talking about is a bias for acting where you act, and then you come back and you think about how you acted, what you could have done better, the gaps in your knowledge, and then you fill those gaps, and then you act again, and then you act again. And Mike, believe me, before you know it, one of those actions will turn out to be a breakthrough.
Fine, let me just take this last one. You made mention of the fear of success.
Yes.
It's about the first time I've heard something like that. How do you, after you've succeeded, how do you get that fear out of your system? You know, like you said, some people are afraid of sustaining that success.
Yeah.
So how do you get to, when you've acted and you've gotten a particular result, how do you sustain that result and ensure that, that fear of success doesn't get you to derail?
It's a very interesting question. The truth of the matter, Mike, is that when you have the fear of success, you're not even likely to succeed. Because what happens is that once you get close to success, you self-sabotage. Because you're afraid of the fact that you're not going to be able to handle the success. What you want to do to get rid of the fear of success is to kind of go into your story and ask, where did I pick up this fear from? Some of us pick up the fear of success from childhood, where we were told we're not good enough, we're not going to, when we failed, and we didn't manage our failures properly because we're children, and people around us who were supposed to support us did not support us well. And so we kind of feel like we're jerks and we're losers. And so that becomes our conditioning. And so as adults, as you move towards success,
you go back into that
kind
time.
of self-sabotage and you go back.
Wonderful. I
So
will
you have to
continue
go
with
back
this.
and go fix
Fear of
that.
success. Next Monday, I would pick up from this one, the fear of success.
Definitely.
Because
Let's
I don't
do
think
it.
we've treated this enough. Thank you
Let's
very
do
much,
it.
Stephen. It's always great having you.
Always a
I I hope you've been sufficiently motivated this Monday morning. We'll take a short break now. Don't go nowhere. It's the third hour of the show coming right up.
You're welcome again. It's still Wake Up Nigeria, and it's the first work day of the week. It's already looking up for us, if you ask me.
That's what happens when you put music, good food from Chef Nathaniel, and great discussions together. And of course, all of this come together to make up what we call Wake Up Nigeria and much more. It's
Yes.
an excellent morning to you. My name is Mike Mesikeno.
And I am Mary Bashwa Alimi. Now, another way to watch us is to stream live if you have to leave the house. It's on at tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. So send in comments using the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC.
Yep, you can also download our mobile app available on Android and iOS stores, which you can use to watch us anywhere around the world once you have internet connection.
Yes, and of course, I still have my eyes on Chef Nathaniel. You know he wants to eat that.
Chef Nat! Your own food, they're even blaming you of stealing your own food. What's happening, Chef Nat? I'm confused this morning, man.
I don't know. Maybe you should ask me.
You need to be fantasizing about bread and that sauce.
Wow.
Hi, just
Chef
take
Nat,
a look at the sauce.
I hope you're frying that fish that I'm seeing by the side.
Oh my gosh. I feel see the zooming in. Even the cameramen are hungry as well. Look at what this guy is doing to us this morning. Anyway, let's move on to the highlights. On car maintenance at Yomi Boss today, we'll be talking about knowing your car keys.
And then, of course, we have, after that, the founder and CEO of the Styles fashion label, Daniel Chukwumachuku. He's our SME guest this morning. He'll be sharing with us his experiences on entrepreneurship in Nigeria later on the show.
All right, and talking about entrepreneurship and all, today is Get Out of the Doghouse Day. Now, doghouse in most cases is also what we call detention or being in trouble. In most cases, it's an expression used for married couples when the man is in trouble and the woman has cast him out. So he says, when will I get out of the doghouse?
Okay, so break it down. So it's more or less like a day when you can break out of the norm or something?
No, it's more like, okay, you've offended your partner, for example, and then your partner decides to punish you by saying, you know what, I don't want to talk to you. You guys might still be sharing the same bed or whatever. But the doghouse thing is like you've been cast away. So you want to get out and be in our good books again.
Okay. Now,
get it now.
Now I get it. Now I get it better. Okay, so how did that kind of deal? Man, come on, this is
you know, my Mexican Day just passed 2 weeks ago. On June 29th. So everybody has their day.
Everybody something that you can put around. Get out of the dog. I was thinking of a kennel already, maybe a literal doghouse, a physical doghouse. But hey, come on, that's not what it meant. So yeah,
No.
that's quite a good one. But then Chef Nathaniel, I was talking about fish and all that different. Chef Nathaniel, do you know what they call scumbia fish?
Honestly, I don't know.
You don't know too?
I don't know.
You have joined them in that something. But you're frying that fish, right? That one that you're going to fry it, right?
Sure.
It's sure, eh?
Yeah.
Chef Nathaniel, scumbia fish is Titus fish. That's what they did to me as well. It's Titus fish.
No, because I've always wanted. I know one or two chefs who have heard the name before. It's slang, right? It's not everybody.
like Chef Tina, I think. Tina that day she had heard of it.
She knows about it. It's slang and not your normal kind of lingo.
Yeah.
But yeah, different kind of people and different kind of lingo. They understand all of that. So yeah, not like we now come and start tackling that. There's nothing like that. No, there's always something. Like I've never heard about get out of the doghouse. I just learned that today. So if I say, hey, you need to get out of the doghouse, I actually know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, and it's just like the way we are now. If let's say, for example, we're a couple making it up like that, and then I'm literally not speaking to you. Like,
Okay.
when you're hanging out with your friends will be like, oh, so you're in the doghouse now.
Okay.
You get it, like, you need to get
That's
now
really,
you're
that's
getting
really much more better on.
so that's it. It's a better way of saying, you and your madam, you've had issues. Just say you're in the doghouse. Yeah. So it's an
Okay.
expression, actually.
Someone who's definitely not in the doghouse is Ibrahim.
All right, then, you're welcome to the Guardian Radio and Wake Up Nigeria. And as you know, we do automedics every Monday. Today, we have something very interesting, very exciting to learn. Something that has to do, of course, with Yomi Boside, as usual. Great to have you on the show.
Yeah, hi, good morning.
Good
How are you?
morning.
Good to see
Fantastic. Okay, so today we're talking about car keys, and you're
Yes.
not even holding any car key.
It's in my pocket. It's
Okay.
actually here. Okay, sorry, my phone.
Are we talking about phones as well?
Yes, but did you notice I brought out the phone and the car keys from the same place?
Yeah.
That's bad practice.
Huh?
Very, yes.
I thought that was basic.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, because your phones and your car keys should never be kept together.
Why is that?
Yes, because your phone emits radio frequency codes
Yeah.
that can scramble the code here.
Wait,
Okay.
because this is actually for like auto to start the car. So it
Yes.
could scramble the code.
The codes, because now what you have is with the modern day vehicles, you have keyless entries.
Yeah.
So where you don't have to put any metallic key
Yes.
into the door.
Yes.
Because with this, it's ready to go. Once you go to the door, it sometimes will release the door handle for you to go in. There's a push start button. You get to start the car.
Almost
That's-
everything is auto now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's making it easy and for every owner or driver of the vehicle. But then that can be a problem at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Because the new keys don't have more codes in them. So if you put your phone together with your car key, you might end up really ruining your key. You might not even be able to start the car.
So imagine being stuck somewhere and you
Yes.
can't start your car simply because you put your car key and your phone together.
Yes. And it
Just-
doesn't happen once. It's not going to happen on just your first time. It might be on the 5th or 6th time, just
So
sometime.
you might have been getting away with it for a very long time
Yes.
and you can't even figure out that this is the real problem.
You won't even be able to get access into your car. So it would almost look like you're about to steal a car because you go to your car, you pull the door handle and it won't respond.
You know what you said now just frightened me because there's also the case of you being stranded in your car.
And you might even get in
Yes,
and
and
not
you
be able
cannot
to start
be
the
able
car.
to start the car.
Absolutely.
Unable to even maybe work on these locks or stuff.
Nothing.
That's a scary thought.
You are so...
And I believe that's what happens to ATMs too sometimes. When
Yes.
you have your ATM cards and
With your
because you
phone.
put it with your phone,
yes,
it gets
it
scrambled.
would scramble the code on it and
Wow,
you
tell
can't...
me more. Tell me more. I
Okay.
used to look at car keys as just car keys.
Yes, so...
Apparently not.
It's not. It's not just your regular car key you can easily get away with. Yeah, the older model vehicles, yes, you would get away easily with those ones. But with the newer model vehicles that have transponder chips in them and a lot of electronics packed in, everything relies on electronics and information.
Oh, wow.
So everything is coded into the key. So there's this type of key that doesn't have, your metal
Yeah, this one
chip.
doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Well, there's another one here that's got
Okay.
the metal. You can
Yes,
you can
this
flip
is
it.
the one we.
This one you're used to.
It seems we should continue with that.
No, this
Fancy being
2019
locked out of your own car.
easily.
Wow.
You would easily get locked out, and then you start to look very strange at yourself. That what have I
Exactly,
done?
like
and
what
you won't even
happened?
know what's gone wrong.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
used to think it was a
important.
case of battery running out or something whenever that happens.
No.
Apparently not.
In
Okay,
fact,
tell me more about this.
Good. The other part of this is, even when you have this key at home
Yeah.
and you park your vehicle close to the house, because it also has a proximity range.
Really?
Yes. So if the key is really close to your garage where you park the car, it would put the car on alert, and you can easily run your battery down. Did you know that? Yes.
No, are you kidding me right now?
No, I'm not. Okay.
So I have a garage.
Yes.
I park my car.
Mm.
I put the car key maybe on the table in the garage, go inside the house. And what I've succeeded in doing is to put my car on alert.
On alert, yes.
I should have taken the key with me to the bedroom or
Even
something.
if you take it into the house, because different vehicle manufacturers have different range that is set for proximity for the keys to respond. That's why you can stay about 32 inch to a car and you push the lock and unlock button and it will respond. So for some cars it's 32, some cars it's closer and shorter. So if your car and your where you park your car
Yeah.
is really close to where you put the car keys in the house, and it can respond to it, you've put the car on alert. So you're going to have what you call a quiet drain.
Of
a
your
parasitic
battery?
drain, yes, because you won't know of your car's battery, so because the car is on alert. So it's
that's
active.
why sometimes you wonder why you just probably changed the battery maybe like a couple of months ago and you're having serious issues with it already.
Absolutely.
So these are little things
that you don't know what's gone wrong. You start to wonder, has someone messed my car up? You know, that really would hit you real bad.
What else? What else? This looks like a really serious class. I feel like I'm going to upload this on my social media. There's a lot to learn. Okay, so what else, please?
And apart from that, apart from keeping the phone and the car keys separate, you also need to protect some of these keys. There are some rubber pouches that are sold now that you can wear on them, so you also prevent them from falling too often. Even if they do get to fall, they don't get damaged, because the usual falls too can affect the keys.
So even the keys are a problem.
Yes.
Can we just take bikes?
No way, that's not going to happen.
Looks like there's a lot that you need to do, especially maintenance-wise, for just your car keys. We haven't talked about the cost, the stress, and all that it entails to maintain a car. Just the car keys, of these. Oh, wow. So you have to protect this. So it's possible to actually get a
pouch for it.
A pouch for it.
A rubber silicone pouch that would you wear around it, and that keeps it really safe.
This is funny to me because I know I get pouches for my phones and stuff, but also for my car key. My goodness.
Yes.
Okay, so what else is there to learn?
So what you also need to learn is don't hang. If you have a car key that's got a space to hang stuff, don't hang too many things on it, because you can also damage the ignition.
Wait, I put my house keys, my drawer keys, my desk keys, and it's a bad idea again.
Very bad practice.
Please, let's just park these keys as we park the cars. Thank you so much, Yomi. I feel like I've learned a whole lot today, enough to share with family and friends as well. Thank you so much. So that's Yomi Boside of Autocentric. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we're moving on. There's going to be a conversation between Mike and our SME guest today. Hi, Mike.
Car keys. That was quite an enlightening one there. Straight up to our SME segment for this week. Now we have SMEs that are actually thriving in Nigeria. My guest is the CEO of a fashion label in Lagos called Day Styles, and he'll be sharing some of his experiences as a fashion entrepreneur in Nigeria. Daniel, it's great to have you, Daniel. You're welcome. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. So now let's get straight into it. It is not easy doing business in Nigeria, we know. But then we've seen that the fashion industry there's been some kind of rise. Like, you know, we now have a lot of fashion designers, people going into fashion and all of that. But let's talk about how it started for you. Okay. How did you get into the fashion business?
Thank you very much for having me this morning. I wouldn't want to sound cliche, like everybody tell you I was born into it and all that. I actually had the regular 9-to-5 work, but at a point, I had to do something different for me because I was so tired of this routine. I don't know if you get it. So I just delved into it a bit while I was still working. So then I saw it as just a thing to, just to play around with. I didn't see it as business.
Okay.
But then after a while, then I started thinking of it the other way. That's turning into a business. So that's how I picked up then. That was way back in 2010 or so.
2010.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the transition. The point where you were combining it with your 9-to-5. How were you able to combine, working, starting or doing something by the side and then your own 9-to-5? How were you able to combine it?
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, I'll tell you. You get tired easily at the end of the day because you have time frame that you have to work, and the time frame you have to do your own thing too. So balancing it was where the challenge was.
Yes, how did you do it?
I did a sort of check and balance for myself.
Okay.
And then what I did was I had to speak with the manager then and asked him for some time. No, I have to leave earlier than the regular time. Because,
and he gave you?
And he gave me that. He was so supportive. I'm so happy I met him in my lifetime. So he supported, and he saw that thing in me that I was going to go places. So he gave me that time. So that's where I started going for the training. And then eventually...
You had to go for a training.
You can't do this just by the way.
You see, but that's the thing. Not everybody goes for trainings for this kind of... Some people feel, like you said, it's cliche. Some people feel like, okay, I have it inside me. But now, how important is training when it comes to business principles or learning a business? How important is training?
Training is the key, because you end up, there are things that sells others than you. I don't know, like a brand, you have brands that even when the names are mentioned, you don't bother thinking the quality, it's good. So for you that don't have that same weight, financial muscle with them, you have to go through training. Some of us can afford very expensive training, but you have trainings that you could go through you have guys who are into this thing too with you, who are good at it, and they don't even see it as doing you, they see it as doing you a favor rather, not business. So they help you through. So you don't feel too important going to them to get that training. So when you get that training, you find out you're good, you become good at what you're doing.
Something you just mentioned, which I really like very much, is more or less like mentorship. Mentorship is very important. That means that people that are already on the path that you want to tread, you follow them, right?
There are even a lot of people I even follow that don't even know I follow them. They are like mentors to me.
Wow.
But I have guys who I go to who are older than me in this game.
How important is it having a mentor in your line of business? In any line of business?
It saves you the stress of going through the mistakes they've made.
Wow.
They've done this and they've made mistake on it, they've corrected it, and they just help you. You just don't go through that same mistake So that's how it is.
All right, moving on. So now, at what point did it come to you that, okay, at this point, let me change. Look, I need to leave this 9 to 5 and fully focus on this. Was styling or was making clothes, had it already started bringing in the money that you wanted before you switched? At what point did it happen?
The thing is, I used to tell guys when we talk like this, I tell them there is a corresponding client for everybody into any business, no matter how bad or good you are. You have people who will still patronize you regardless, who can afford those top shots. But the thing is, you don't want to settle for that little or mini income. You don't just want to pay your bills and all that. You look at, sometimes we complain about the country not being good, people out of job. So what's your contribution to that? You have to create a platform where you have people, you employ people and take some people out of the streets and you put them in. So I saw it as a business when towards the late 2015, 2014. And thanks to my wife, I must tell her this, because she was the one that put that thing that tells me, baby, you don't need to be just making few clothes and then getting small money.
Let's just keep your thought there. We'll pick it up from here, how your wife motivated you. Let's take a short break now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Daniel. Welcome back. We still have Daniel of D Styles fashion brand, and he was talking to us about inspiration, getting inspiration from your wife, how it helped you put everything into perspective, right? So let's pick up from there.
She has been my #1 fan. You have the one person who always believes in you, regardless of what anybody thinks and whatever it is. So she spoiled or brought out that thing in me and told me, let's do this thing as a business proper. Stop just doing it like family and friend thing, So after that, I just sat back. That's why I took time. You notice when we had some discussion time ago, I told you I was taking my time. So I took my time and I'm trying to perfect the whole thing, turn it into business proper.
Make your art better. Okay, good. So at this time, let's talk about challenges. We know that definitely doing any business has its own challenges. What are the challenges that are peculiar to fashion designing in Nigeria?
The #1 thing is financing it. And then you have this funny one. You have these multi-levies that are placed on business owners. I was discussing with the boss of my Isaac Omuna. He told me doing business in Nigeria is one of the most frustrating things. And he was right about that, because you have these people coming to levy taxes on you. You have different kind of multi-taxes. And just to make you laugh, I got a space, and I haven't started working there. I just got the space and kept it locked. And people came to lock it up and told me I have to pay my tax. I've not even started business. How do you pay tax when you haven't started business? But that's on the way. We face challenges of getting the right equipment. They're very expensive, and then getting funds to run those businesses. So that's most of the challenge we face.
Okay, now, so how, in such a way now, how do you think help can be given to entrepreneurs in the fashion industry? How do you think you can get help, maybe from the government or anywhere, to help that in the industry?
Lagos is doing fantastic in that. We have the Lagos Fashion Week. Though I haven't been there, but I'll be there soon.
All right, wonderful.
So we should have corporate organizations or even bank and all that to give loans without much collateral.
Exactly.
Those things, you go for a loan and people tell you you have so much strenuous and rigorous process you have to go through before getting that loan. I mean, it gets you frustrated.
Loans,
I mean, it's very frustrating.
That's one major one. All right, so you were talking about collaborations and all of that. How, in the fashion industry, how have collaborations helped your business?
Very good. I'm having this one with Coche blazers.
Yeah.
He's a Niger-born but UK-based designer. He's into Coches and blazers, all that.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this some time ago.
Okay.
And based on some things we didn't finalize it, but we are going in deep now. And he's been also motivational for me because he's been doing it for so long. He even saw it, telling me this style should be more than this. We should take it to the UK Fashion Week too, because you'll be seeing some of that too.
So, but how does that collaboration help your business?
It helps to put you in the bigger picture or in the greater platform. Because you are playing the local scene here, the local level here, and you have someone who's already in the UK and also been in all the fashion weeks like Lagos and UK. So why not? When you do a collaboration with him, your brand is still mentioned there, and you get like a promo and all that.
Right, wonderful. Now, there has been some sort of there's been some level of trust that has grown in Nigerian brands, because normally we Nigerians don't trust our own stuff so much. But we've seen that now, these days, fashion designers and stylists are doing quite well. There's been some level of increase in trust in Nigerian goods. Why? How did that happen?
Because lately you find out that when you do a shabby job or you do something that is, you give a client a fabric or an outfit that is not of quality, you end up losing that client. I don't know if you get me. So when you do something very good for a client, it gives you room for the person to come by, even make referrals for you. So we found out that there are places you get quality fabrics that are very good. So we've personally, speaking for myself, go through that rudiment of getting quality and hybrid fabrics that when you end up doing your job, clients won't complain about it. They see it as very good, and it makes you have this level of trust in them too. Because when you give a client, you deliver a job to a client, and the client sees it as something that is not of good quality, how do you expect him to come back to do this? So we try to take our time and then go through all those processes.
Yeah, but something that we normally blame people for, they say, if you want a dress in October, you have to tell the tailor or the designer that you want it in June.
We all go through
so
that.
Why is it so? You people are the ones. Why so, man? Why people like this?
It's a process we're all going through.
Yeah, why do you give a date that you can fulfill? Say, oh God, if you do 2 weeks,
the truth is. When you get to that level, like I told you, I took up my time to perfect certain things because I also had that issue some time ago. So I took up my time to go perfect all those so that we don't have such. Where you have quality hands assisting, doing these stuffs together. Because I told you finance initially, you can't have manpowers when you don't have that financial muscle to have them stay with you. Everybody wants to be CEO on their own. Nobody wants to go through that learning process. So sometimes when you have clients, you don't want to disappoint you. They have trust in you, and they tell you, bro, please, I need this thing urgently. I want to use it for this, and you've planned out. We have our power issue, and then you need power plants or gens that are able to carry or pick your stuff that you're using in your office. So it's not easy telling that client no. But like you're saying now, it's best you tell them, I'm sorry, this won't be possible. And also you too that comes sharply and tell you, I want this thing urgently and this, be considerate.
Well,
so
it's
it
true,
helps
it's
a lot
true.
too.
Well, that's
the side of it.
All right, so on a final note, what word out there would you use to encourage some people who want to go into entrepreneurship and then maybe fashion as a style, but generally for an SME owner? What word would you give out there as some sort of
I would tell them to keep the faith up. It's not easy. A friend of mine told me, if you have a business up and running in Nigeria for more than 5 years, you are, in fact, you're blessed. So it's not easy. So just keep the faith up and continue improving, this constant improvement on what you're doing. So don't just rely or settle for less. Keep that faith and keep going for training, like I told. So just get mentors, people who are better than you, or people who have done this and passed through those processes. It will help a lot in keeping you moving in that business you're doing.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Daniel of The Styles Fashion House. And here's wishing you the best. And
thank you.
How many years have you been doing this now?
Properly, I can tell you as a business, I've been doing it for 4 years now.
4 years. Years to 40 more years. All the best, man.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, yeah, that's it, SME. But then, Dado, we have something for you. We have another SME owner.
Oh.
That's Nat.
Oh,
Nat is, you know, let's go meet your other SME owner. Let's see. Let's sample what he has for us this morning.
Okay.
Let's. Okay.
Welcome to the kitchen.
Thank you very
How
much.
Are you doing?
I'm very good, and you?
Great visit. Please sit.
Hey, grab a seat.
Yeah, so when you're in the midst of SME owners, you just align with them.
Wait, where's the remaining food?
The food.
Where's the remaining one, Nat?
What do you want? It has got... Well done.
You want this shit to end here now? Before you even start anything, I will not tear the place down.
You're welcome to the kitchen. Today's chef is Chef Nathaniel of Untitled Chapter. And he made breakfast for us.
Wow.
Yeah, so spicy. Let me let you tell us about
what
the
we
meal.
made today is spiced rice with fish sauce and dodo.
Wow.
Yeah. So we boiled our rice and we added spices like rosemary, black pepper, and some vegetables like carrots, spring onions. And we fried our sauce, consisting of bell peppers, fish, pomo, and all condiments. And we have our croaker fish, which is fried, and our plantain.
Wow.
Yeah. It's an art to fry croaker fish, and you got it right.
Tell you, it's going to look beautiful just saying at it alone.
Wow. Oh, please dig in.
Thank you very much.
Tell us what you make of the meal.
Okay, I'll start with the sauce first.
Okay. You're a smart guy.
You need pomo? You started with the pomo? This guy.
What do you think?
I'll take away for this.
Don't worry, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. It tastes very good.
No, thank you.
Nice one.
Great.
All right, a big shout out, thank you to Homely NG for our kitchen accessories.
Thank you so much.
All right.
And of course, many thanks to all our guests. Chef Nathaniel of Untitled Cuisine, well done. And thank you so much. Interesting stuff I learned earlier in the garden regarding your car keys as well. Thank you so much, Yomi Boss today. And to everyone the cast, the crew, everyone, thank you so much for being a part of the show today. And thank you also for watching. Tomorrow is another edition. And of course, you should join us then. Bye for now.